welcome back to my corner of the internet. As you guys can see from the title, I'm gonna be showing you guys what palettes I decided that are everyday kind of palettes. These are the palettes that I could not categorize in a season because I could use them all year round, no questions asked. So I could not box them in somewhere. So I shared this information with you guys in my Monday's video. So if you have no clue what I'm talking about, I would highly recommend pause this video, go check that video out so you know exactly what I'm talking about, what I did with my makeup collection, how I am doing it now, and why it is that you're seeing this video today. So if you're interested to see all of my everyday palettes, let's get going. Alright guys, today's one of those days where I literally just came back from getting my hair trimmed. I got my hair she only needed to trim an inch. I always tell her to trim whatever's dead, but I've been doing so good with my hair. She's like very surprised at how well my hair is at my age. To the point where she told me that it took forever to blow dry my hair. She said my hair's gotten thicker, which is an amazing thing because my hair was thinning for years. And I guess I've just been doing such great work at eating well and knowing what I need for my body that my hair has gotten thick. Even my nails all summer long have been really, really thick. I just filed them down today because they were a little bit long. The reason why I'm telling you this is because this is why I have sunglasses on my head. I just got my hair done and I had my sunglasses on my head and I said, screw it, leave it there because I don't want to fuss with my hair. It is what it is. All right, so these palettes are palettes that I can't categorize in a season because for me, they work all year round. These were, you know how like you declutter things and you're like, oh, this is my maybe pile. You don't know because you still could use it. Then you don't know. Like this was my maybe pile. I didn't know where to put these palettes. I didn't know because I could use them all year round. Every palette I opened up and I analyzed to see where my eyes went, why I used it in certain seasons, and it fit best. These, I was just like, I see me using this in the summer. I see me using this in the winter. I see me using this in the fall. Where the heck am I going to put this palette? Because I don't want it to get lost in the shuffle because I can't automatically look at this palette and say winter, spring, summer, fall. I just couldn't do it. So there's quite a bit here. I thought I only had like less than 10 and then I didn't look at the back of my drawer and I have about like 15 palettes. Overall, that's like a 2% of my makeup collection. So for me, that's not a big deal. These are the palettes that if I don't know what to do, I don't have time to think about it. I know that I want my makeup to look great that day. I know I can count on it. I could go smoky. I could go light with it. No matter what it is that I want to do, I can do with these palettes alone. In all honesty, I could probably declutter my whole entire makeup collection and just keep these palettes because these are the ones that I just love to use and reach for. And some of you guys already have guessed some of these. Some of these you probably have no idea because I had them in a drawer, and the reason why I never used them a lot on camera is because again, I didn't categorize them in my brain of what season to put them in, so they just sat in a drawer, lost in limbo because they were technically used all year round. So let's start out with the elephant in the room. These are the ones that you probably have never seen me use on camera, but I use off camera often, and I love these. So these are all MAC palettes. All of these MAC palettes were not made by me. These were the pre-made palettes that they sold years ago through Nordstrom, I believe through Macy's, and somewhere else. I can't remember where else. Nordstrom, Macy's, and maybe Dillard's. I can't remember where I got these, but I know that I purchased these pre-made. I cannot depot these. These are not they're not magnetized, and they are a straight to depot. I've seen many people on different forums stating how difficult it is to depot these. So I'm not depotting them. I have no intentions. I know some of you guys may say that to use them more, but they're fine the way that there is. I'm okay with it. And this is why I love these because they're just so amazing. So first and foremost, MAC had came out with these 9-pan minis. I only picked out 4. I think they had like a good few. I know they had a blue one, they had a silver, like a smoky one. I didn't pick all of them out. I have 4 of them. And these 4, like I really can't categorize these in any kind of season. The main reason is because some of these shadows are in their everyday line, in their standard line. So I want to use them in the summer or in the winter time. For instance, this one's Honey Lust. This shadow right here is Honey Lust. I can use that in the spring. I can use that in the summer. I can use that in the fall. I can use that in the winter. Like, to me, I don't know. I want to reach for Honey Lust, but she's stuck in here, so I can't categorize it anywhere. Like other ones that I have in here that are new, Sketch is in here, Hoax is in here, or some people call it Ho. Embark, Antiqued is in here. So these are shadows that I can use in different seasons. So this is why this is the one that's the burgundy one. So I have that in my everyday. This is the semi-sweet. Again, I would say this is like fall, but only because of this one. But it doesn't make any sense because the rest I can use all year round. If I were to take these two away, this is an everyday palette for me. So this is why I have these in my everyday drawer now. So I know where to put them. This is another one. This is the Dusky Rose. I love that. That shade is one of my favorite shades. You can see how well loved that one is. It's one of my favorite shades. So I have that, as well as the Amber Times. This was another one. Here's another one that has a few. It has, what is it? Pepper Please is in there that I love. Cozy Gray, Rice Paper. So he has a few in here, and I love that shade right here. This shade is not an everyday one, but that's the one that I reach for a ton. So those are in here because I use these often, and they're really easy to travel with. Like, these are tiny for me to use, grab and go, and if I need to touch up, I do. But MAC shadows, they're really good. They're not like my favorite of all time, but they are reliable. They're like your mom. You know you can go to them. You know they're going to give you good advice. You know they're going to be there and back you up and stay there the whole day. That's what I think about when I come to MAC eyeshadows. Here's a quad that was gifted to me a while back. This is the Mariah quad, and this one I love. And again, I don't reach for it often on camera because I don't know when to pull this sucker out. Here's the reason. Half of this palette is cool tone, half of it to me is warm tone. So this half right here, I love to use right now, but then this half I like to use in the cooler months. So then I'm like, where am I putting you? Where am I going with you? You know what I mean? Like this is my confusion. So this one is called It's Everything. So I love it. It is a beautiful palette or a quad. But again, this has to go in my everyday because right now I love to use these two. But then these two I don't care for until later on in the year. And I can also mix and match them. So this is staying in my everyday drawer because I need to do that. I need to do this more often. Same goes with these. I own 5 of these, and this might be overkill to some of you guys, but you guys know I love variety. And if I'm going to get use out of these, I might as well put them all in. So that's what I did because these, again, this may look cool tone. So this is the cool neutral palette, but look at it. It's neutral. So there are shades in here that I would love to use in the summertime. Like these right here, I would love to use these more in the summer right here. These right here, I can really get use out of when I need something light. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the cooler months. So I have the cool neutral, I have the warm neutral. Here's another one that I can use even in the wintertime because these are not so orangey, so warm toned. If you understand what I mean. Like this isn't too cool. This isn't too warm. It's right there. It's a neutral, warm neutral, cool neutral. So for me, it's all year long. Then I have, this one's just the times 15 palette. So I have this one. This one is called In the Flesh. I think I bought this one at Nordstrom. So here's this one that has some shades in here that I really like. These two down here, I could use these. What is that? Tempting? Tempting's no longer in the line, but that's one of my favorite shades. I love that one. And then the last one is this one by Nordstrom. This is the 15 times 15 Nordstrom. You can see that I have used these. It's just they get stuck in limbo because they don't go in any season particularly. So those are the ones you haven't seen that I have now pulled out of my collection, going through all of my eyeshadows and realizing these don't have a season because they're all year round for me. The other palette I have should be no surprise to you guys what palettes should be in here because I have talked about them. These should have been clumped together with all of my MAC ones because they all form a purpose for me. They all give me something that I want, that I love, that I could use every single day. So the first one's one of the new ones to me. This one I got for my birthday. This is the Natasha Denona Mini Eye Sculpt. This one to me, I don't have a season for. Again, it can go all year round. So this is an all matte palette and I don't have too many all matte palettes because I don't go for them. I love a little bit of everything. So this is gonna go in my everyday drawer now because I will do all these palettes a disservice if I put them in a season or force myself to put them in a season because mentally I don't think about them in that season and they'll never get used. They will never get used. Here's another one. This one I've used a ton. This is the Viseart Neutral Matte. I started to pull this out for my Shop My Stash. I put this in for summer. It never dawned on me to pull it out, to use it. Why? Because it not only has the warm up here, but it has the cool down here. So I can go all year round with this palette. So it needs to be where it's every year, every day, all year long kind of palette. This MAC one, this is the old school one. They have updated the ones now. This one used to be called the Nude Model. Again, same concept. I had this in my Shop My Stash almost the whole year. I forced myself to pull it out in the summer. Forced myself to pull it out during my summer Shop My Stash because I was like, all right, I got to give it a break. But it stayed in for winter, for spring. So it was meant all year round. This one has been in there all year round. This is the Unfiltered Nudes. This is the palette that I used on Monday's video. I love this palette. And again, you could see I use this warm shade, but then I have cooler shades like Wedge and Uninterrupted in the fall, summer kind of thing. You know, it has a little bit of everything. So this one's going to stay in my all year round drawer. Then I have this one. This one was sent to me in PR, and this one to me honestly is all year round. It is not so warm that I can't get away with wearing this in the winter because I had this palette in the past and I did use it in the winter time. This color Naked is not as warm as you think, so I can get away with using that one in the winter time and then using Buck in the summer if I want to add a little bit more warmth to it. So this to me is all year round. It has the warmth, but it's more neutral base, and then you got your cooler tones down here. So this one's staying in my everyday drawers. Last two should not be a surprise, the Sultry palette. This is what started all of this, is this palette, because this palette literally was in my drawer every day, like my everyday drawer, all year long for a full year, because I can get use out of it all year. It just doesn't have to be in the fall, in the winter because of these. It's literally all year. This was my inspiration to do this because when I was separating it, I came to this palette and I'm like, what am I gonna do with you? You don't belong in any of those. You belong in all of them. So this is what started it. And last but not least is the Danessa Myricks Groundworks. This is another one where it's all year round. You got my cooler tones for the winter, and then I've been rocking this one a ton for the summertime with these. So for me, again, I can't box this in because it's just every day. I've even fallen in love with using this one. You can see a little dip going on in that one, which did not have a dip if you saw my previous videos. So in total, I have 17 palettes, you guys. 17 palettes that it didn't matter where I put them. I just, as soon as I would open them up, I'm like, all right, you can go in the summer, you can go in the fall. I can also use you in the winter. I can see spring being used on here. That's how I went about each palette. And the ones that I could not automatically go, boom, fall, winter, spring, summer, I knew that they had to be in my everyday drawer. Out of the palettes that I have, you guys, this is just a very, very small percentage. The majority of my palettes were able to be categorized. These I could not. Some of them I still struggled, but I knew that I wouldn't reach it all year long, and I knew that there was a specific season that I would reach for it, even though it could work in an everyday drawer, but the pull for that season was far greater than the pull in my everyday drawer. So certain palettes were still on the fence for me, but as I looked at them deeper, I knew why I was feeling that way. And I was just like, nope, I'm trying to force it instead of my first initial thought when I opened up the palette. So that's it, you guys. You wanted to see this. I shared with you guys. These palettes now are housed in the drawer that I shared with you guys during my Shop My Stashes. The big drawer, that drawer houses these. So this is what I reach for. This is what I've been reaching for every day. Like I said, Monday's video, I reached for this. Today I'm using all cream shadows on my eyes, so I didn't use any palettes. So it depends on what I'm feeling, but it makes me happy to know that I have everyday palettes that I can trust and go to, and then when I want to go out of that and feel like I need to go and venture off, I go to my drawers, go into my next season will be fall, so I'll be going in my fall drawers to really get use out of those palettes, to get that fall feel out of those palettes. And if I don't want to, I have these that are everyday, go with any outfit, it'll go with any hairstyle, it'll go with any kind of occasion. I have it all here. All right, guys, that's all that I have. I'd love to know what palettes are your go-to all year round. I love to hear your thought process and what it is that you lean towards. I lean towards more neutral browns, more neutral kind of palettes. palettes that'll give me warm and cool at the same time, but they're neutral. They're not too much of anything, and that's what I love for every single day. Thank you guys so much for watching and requesting this video. You guys are amazing. I love you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying your first week of September. I am trying to stay warm, hot, cold, hot, cold. Today's hot, so now I'm in a short sleeve. I don't know what to do with myself anymore. It's one of those weeks where it's confusing too. All right, guys, another video on the screen for you to enjoy. Until then, guys, God bless. I'm out.